Howdy y'all. Thank you for joining us today for this unboxing of a Kickstarter I just got in called Oros. I started out zoomed out today so I could show you because it came with a playmat in just a normal playmat tube, but you can see here that it's a nice little playmat. I was thinking a little small, but maybe you don't need that much board on this from what I'm seeing. But also like nice stitching around it. This looks like maybe I'm assuming the 2 and 3 player, and this is 3 to 4 players. But you can see the mat with, like I said, the nice stitching to it. And it's not overly huge, so should fit in the normal playmat tube. And as you can see here, this is a pretty big box. You can see it's pretty thick there. It's got some beautiful artwork on it though. And you can see from the back here that it shows that mat where you're going to be putting stuff on here. And then we're going to have, each player's going to basically have a board, it looks like, where you'll be taking stuff off to put it on there. And this box is kind of heavy. I was kind of holding up with just one arm there. As you can see there, 1 to 4 players. About 30 minutes per player, ages 14 plus. It even says here, erupt volcanoes, form mountains, and build sacred monuments in the pursuit of wisdom and knowledge. So, sounds like you're basically, I have an affinity for these games where you play spirits or gods, it seems like. But it sounds like you're going to basically, well, it actually says on here, guess just read the box. You're an all-powerful demigod in an ever-shifting world. So, alright. Let's see what's all inside this box. I mean, it's always just an extra touch when I do stuff like this, where the inside of the box just has some beautiful artwork instead of just being the inside of a box. Always just a little extra touch when I do stuff like that, just kind of like whenever you see a rule book and it's linen. This is not, but just using that as an example, like those little touches are just nice little niceties. If you're one of the people who does you know, buys someone's games, you get something a little extra. Shows here the game components in the rule book, and then we just got a little bit of story. Along with the map overview, the player mat overview. And then we get into the central map. Player mats, playing solo or 2-player, which, I wanted to look at that. I'm sure it's the smaller, oh, it didn't show, but yeah, I'm sure the smaller mat is meant for use for 1 4-player game, so I guess you could. And then it even says used for 3 to 4. So the bigger mat is definitely for 3 to 4 players, but it does show you can use the smaller mat up to 4 players. So maybe if you want a little bit more constriction or something. But, alright, anyways. So playing the game, we're about 1-2. You can see how the rule book is kind of laid out word-wise. I know I'm not showing each page, but you can kind of see how dense the wording is or not. But it looks like we have here a lot of pages, but there's not a lot of stuff on each page. Okay, so about 10 pages to the final scoring. Then we get to an automa, advanced game variants, so advanced setup it sounds like, and then some more variants. Kind of like a little, thanks to our Kickstarter community, can't read. Thanks to our Kickstarter community for all the amazing ideas. Keep a watchful eye for these hidden items tucked away across the Oros artwork. Can you find them all? So it's just got kind of like a little extra thing that they put into the artwork. Then we got a couple pages of achievements, it looks like. And there's some common mistakes and tips and strategies, which those are always nice to read over just in case you read the rule book and may have missed over something that's got to be done. And then the back of the book just has some symbol reference guide. Alright. As you can see here, it looks like we got trays, so I'll probably see if I can't get everything in here, show what it looks like. All these I'll pull out and we'll take a closer look at. It just looks like the same things with just different numbers on them. we have some of these little things, which usually means we're going to be making some type of dial or something. And then the trays on top here. And then some stickers, I think. Or a sticker. We'll see. We got some cardboard to look at here. One of those stopping the moisture or whatever. But you can see here, and these are probably some going to be upside down and some not, but just showing you the backs and fronts of the tiles and up close to where you can see everything. There's only 4 of these, so not too bad for the punching. I know some people like doing that. I am not a fan of. If it punches easy, cool. I'm just not a fan of it because I'm always worried I'm going to tear up some stuff on it. So if it punches easy, I'm okay with it. It's when it's like, oh, these are going to be some random things, and oh, you ripped a little piece because you were punching too hard, or you punched too soft, or whatever. Or it wasn't cut very well. I know I have a game like that where you can tell one of the tokens where it's at. Alright. Well, this was a little disappointing. I was hoping for some, like, if you're going to have stuff on a board, some type of dual layered, which it does look like there's going to be maybe something like that. There may still be. I may just be wrong. This might just be a sheet that goes somewhere. What it looks like here, we have some player boards and what it looks like. It says the Atama on the back here, but then this looks like our normal player board. But it does look like we're going to have something down here, and I'll show it, where it's just going to sit over it, which would be cool if they do the, here's the Waters Atama. I know I'm not giving a real close look at these, if they are unique. I do got a feeling there's going to be a way to make these. I think they just made it to where you make your dual boards, because I thought it was going to be dials you're making. Or maybe you are. But that looks like where whatever these are going to be used go in to put these together. Here's Fire Demigod. And then we have the Fertile Land, which is what I'd probably want to play. I kind of looked at the boards. I didn't really see a difference. I showed them, but I didn't really see any big differences. I kind of just looked at the sides and the tops and the bottoms. Other than just the what type of god, Raging Fire, whatever, I really didn't see any differences, but I could be wrong on that. And then this is where I think the overlay is that you put together. Okay, I see why they had you put it together. That's fine. Yes, it will be put together. And I see what they did here. Alright. So, you can see each one of these. It's the same ones that we had over here. You're just going to have to punch everything. If I can get this out. And it's just because, yes, you're going to make it a dual layered when you put it together. But they also did it because I can already see, and I'll show that they got one for each of the demigods. But it's because they give you this, which is the other side for the Atama. Where you can see where if you take this, put it all together by putting the things through there, now you have the Atama dual layered, or you have your own personal board. So I see why they did it. I mean, do it yourself, but they do have it to where at least it's dual layered. I was thinking the problem was going to be. I was like, it kind of sucks because, all right, the Atama's going to have stuff on there, and they're not going to be dual layered. But no, you just make your own dual layered board. This has a nice embossing on it. I'll see if I can get the shine in it. You can see, yeah, Kind of, you can see how the wind flows through the whole thing, and then all the numbers are all shiny and whatnot. And then it's got it for the different player counts. So, and then the board, I mean, I can fold it out. It shows it's a 4 segment with the play mat, how that is going to go. But and it's a nice thick board. And alright, like I said, all this stuff we'll take a closer look at. So let me see if there's anything else. If not, then I will fill everything up into trays and then show you a closer look at everything. But we do have the score sheets showing you everything that's worth something. And then I'll show the inside of this box, and then we'll put everything inside its tray. Oh, there's stuff underneath the trays. Like I said, we'll take a closer look at all this stuff. I'm just showing you as I'm taking it apart here, everything that's underneath. Like you can see the little gods each, and then each of the little packs. And then a nice, beautiful inside box. Alright, let me get this tray all loaded up, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, right off the bat, there are 4 decks. I'm not sure if these are actually used by the players or if it's just for an Atama, really. Because I did notice each deck is different. I'm assuming the backs just kind of show what could be happening. So hence the Atama, that way it gives you kind of an assumption of what's going on. Because then the other side just has information. I did look, at least for a couple of the cards, to see if they were unique or different. And they all look different to me. So, but I'm assuming these are Atama. And I also did notice that they do have a spot for each of the decks. Now when I looked at it, it does not look like there's going to be much room there for sleeving. I mean, it will. Actually, no, it'll probably do it if you get one that doesn't have too much of an extra lip on the top. But if it ends up just being the Atama, or even if it isn't, I'll probably just use my Perfect Fits, the sealables from Dragon Shield. Because, I mean, it's not that huge of a deck, so just shuffling up those few shouldn't be too much of a strain on that. But like I said, there are 4 different decks. I'm not going to go through each of them just because it does look like they are different, but they're just showing symbols and whatnot. But they each have their spots in the box. And then, I don't know what all this space is for, because I was able to get everything in the trays. Maybe I just put something up wrong, or maybe there's going to be some expansions they're planning on or whatnot. But they do have these big chunky bits for each of the demigods. I mean, it looks like they're the same front and back, but just in case there is a difference, show you each of them. And I know this is one of the advanced game variants they talked about, because it's something about flipping this over one side or the other. Put that back in there. Next, I'm assuming each person has their tray that they can do, and I'll go to the... I'll show everything from each tray, but it's kind of nice. I'm not even sure if these are supposed to go in there. I just put them in there because I didn't see a spot that said it, but they're definitely color specific. But I'll show each thing that goes into each tray for each color. Each color has a few of these that just go inside their tray. So each of them have a color that goes in there. And then each color has this little thing, which I'm assuming is either a point marker or player order type thing. The other sides have nothing on them. Each color has 8 of these meeples, which are just slightly different. Mostly the symbol that goes where their belly's at, and then the facial expressions are just a little bit different. And then each color has 6 of these little markers. These 3 are all the same, back and forth. At first I was thinking, man, that's kind of silly, because I saw one that looked like you could tell it's a dent. I was like, man, it's a little indented, you're going to be able to tell. But maybe it's a bluffing type thing, but there's 3 of these with this side. Then each color has 3 of these that are double-sided with your God symbol on it. And then the other ones are numbered 1, 2, 3 with the demigod symbol on the other side. And then each color has 3 of each of the different sacred sites, like this little L here. And you can kind of see the artwork on them. The artwork is the same on all 3 of them. Back's got nothing on it, but you can see these are the L, or either the 3 portion ones, which I think is really what it is, but the L sacred sites. And then there's 3 of each of the... Nope, let me make sure I don't have these upside down. Nope, I do not. 3 of each of the 2 sacred sites for each color. Then 3 of each of the single sacred sites for each color. I'm assuming these are just for area control and who controls which spots, because it did say something about putting your sacred sites down. And then each of them have a 4-segment sacred site. I'm assuming your biggest one. And then you can see they Tetris all inside of their thingy here, or their tray. Kind of Tetris style. Oh, I was like missing one of the blue. There it is. You kind of go down there flush and nice, and then you just put your bigger one on top of that, and then close your tray, and then just hand that to your player, and that should give them all the bits they need. And then those just sit down in there kind of nicely. They just all go down in there, like I said, like such. And then the board, along with the... Not sure if that's a scoring thing or what. Now I did go ahead and punch and kind of put one of these together. You can see where I was talking about, where you can see through and see all this, and it is dual layered now. And at first I was like, oh, this is kind of annoying. They do send the stickers, but it does look like you're going to have to cut them yourself so that you can put them where they need to go, so that this is kind of sealed up. So since I have to do that, I just didn't do all that right now. So we're just going to put all this down in there. And actually let me put these down underneath here so I don't lose them. Then there were the 2 trays that went on top, which were these, which put the tiles in there. And I didn't notice it. It probably showed on the camera. But that nice embossing, where it looks like wind or water or whatever, that's on these tiles too. And I'll kind of move it around in there because it's hard for me to see on the little screen. But yeah, like these tiles are really nice. And then you can kind of see they have a spot for the 1, 2, 3s, 4s, the mountains, some extra ones. Oh, and then I forgot about those, so let me set this down in there. And I kind of just divvied them up evenly amongst there, but you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm assuming that's the volcanoes that erupt. But cool. And that would be Oros. I will admit, and I didn't even notice on the box too, it's even got that nice embossing. Man, I just missed all this stuff. But I'll admit, more interested in playing it now after seeing all the stuff inside of it. So I'll try to get this to the table, see what it's all about. Other than that, Thank you for watching, and have a great day.